Hey there, YouTube, it's Kurt here, and I'm back! I have a new computer, and I have new video editing skills. But yeah, we're not going to actually take advantage of them. We're actually going to basically just keep this discussion-based. I'm not going to get too crazy when it comes to these Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. So today I just want to jump right into my next topic and get into a budget version of Machina Scrap Trains, also known as Earth Machine. Now, I understand Joseph Rothschild did a deck profile on this, and that was very useful. I'm going for something slightly different. There are more ways to utilize potential plays with this build. Really, there is some flexibility with this build. Obviously, so at the end of this, I think the best way to play this deck is actually to plan on going first, and then use the trap trick to kind of access your really, really powerful traps, because these traps are really good this format, and get into your artifact package if you need to. This is obviously an auto win button. I feel like this deck isn't as powerful as a lot of other decks, so something as powerful as Artifact Scythe might be a little bit necessary to put it in that competitive in the top tier. So that's what I'm going for. Obviously, if you don't want to run that, you can take out those, and then you can run something. You can take out the artifact package, and you can run something like Gamma. That does make that does reduce your flexibility with your trap trick package, however. So that's something that I really personally enjoy. If I need to trap trick against a control deck, well, I can go and I can go into Torrential Tribute instead of going into Artifact, yada, yada, yada. But so here's the deck profile. And obviously, we're kind of depending on the normal summon to get into our Metal Cruncher. Either into Metal Cruncher or into our, basically go into Dozer Turbo. But we get the Harvester from our Heavy Forward. And those are our primary normal summons. Now, we do have a Searcher. I know some people play the Machina Searcher, which the discard 2 can hurt really badly sometimes, though. That's why I don't really like it. I just played it at 1, but you can play it at 2, and I am playing the other Machina cards as well. The two other ones, the level 7 and the level 10. Those can get you into plays. Obviously, you do lose some searchability there, but honestly, opening it can give you really, really spicy plays. That's what I love about this deck. There's a lot of lines of play with this deck, and you can build it for basically less than $50. A lot of this stuff is bulk, especially the Infinitrack cards. A lot of them are just really the bulk in the bulk pile at any card shop. That's what I love about them. But yeah, we are actually on revolving switchyard as well. That is important. That is how if you open Metal Cruncher and the field spell, well, that's how you very easily make VFD. There are multiple ways you can get into the VFD package, but that is one of the most prominent ones. There's that line of play, and there's also the routes where you open up the Fortress, and then you get the Fortress on field, and then you get Harvester back on field, and those two become level 9s. So, I will give a little bit more of an overview of this deck. The extra deck, I do leave room for some level 4s in the extra deck, because the level 4s can be... Dweller is actually really, really good this format. And any time you're able to open up Dweller, that is actually really, really insane. So I actually thought about putting Pegasus Stampede up to 2 copies, because it's a really good normal summon. I also considered putting the Scrap Engine in this thing, because like bumping that normal summon count up a little bit, it can really help the consistency. But again, you kind of have to draw really well, and you can have to consider playing other bricks as well. There's just some very weird interactions, and the Scrap package can be really good, but it's not good in every situation. All right, so your main goal is obviously you want to go first, but if you want to go second, you do have some options at your disposal. If you're staring down at VFD, obviously that sucks, but like if you open up Urgent Schedule and Torrential Tribute, well, you can break some boards, obviously, with that very, very quickly and recover a lot of the game state. That's the big advantage of this game right now. Obviously, this deck kind of hard loses to going second against Drytron, but I think it kind of loses against Drytron in general, because like the Artifact Scythe does nothing, but against every other deck in the meta seems to really, really just kind of, crush in general. But yeah, if you're a lot of times you can break boards going second with that package. You can prevent yourself from being OTK'd if you need to go to into Artifact Scythe. That's a huge deal. Obviously, with the Artifact package, you have the searchability of Lancia as well, which also definitely has this utility. Dinos are floating around the meta, and as soon as your opponent reveals Oviraptor, well, you can just use your artifact package to get into Lancia instead of your Scythe. There's a lot of really good utility there. So your first turn, your best case scenario first turn is that you're ending on VFD and Super Door, and Super Door gives you protection, and there's some super spicy plays that you can do with Super Door. But VFD can have up to 3 materials. It all depends on how you open. If you get interrupted, most of the time you can put yourself in still a really good position because right now, again, Torrential Tribute is a really good card. And also, if you manage to get Citadel and Grave and just an Earth Machine on field, well, that's also a really good scenario, even if you don't necessarily have Torrential. Torrential is the best case scenario, but blah, blah, blah. You can sometimes survive without it and prevent yourself from being killed. So that's basically your goal. Your goal is to survive one turn and then rely on your deck's really good recursion and really good damage output to go into the next turn and kill them for game. If you happen to lose the die roll and go second, if you go second, your game plan is to see what the board is. If the board state seems to be manageable and recoverable, well then if you're staring down VFD, you sit your cards and you pass turn and rely on the interaction of your own cards. Sometimes Revolving Switchyard can give you really good extension plays on your opponent's turn. That's something to keep in mind. So your goal going second is if your opponent has a break my board, well, set traps if you can. If you can't, just maybe scoop it up and then plan on going first. Don't reveal information. If your opponent is playing control, we'll just try to out-resource them to the best of your ability because your deck actually has that capability now. And you could put Machina Overdrive in this. I think maybe side deck. That's just how you get back some recursion. But you actually have a decent matchup against control decks. The only card you lose to is there can be only one. You just pretty much just straight up lose that matchup entirely if they put that on the field, unfortunately. But Konami just needs to take care of that card. And without further ado, hopefully this was a very interesting deck profile for you guys and an interesting discussion. Hopefully, you enjoy it, but we'll get into some replays here. And these replays will be of a variety here, and I promise to make more upgrades as I go along. I'm actually going to start Twitch streaming. We'll rarely Twitch stream, but we're going to get into a variety of other video games. I actually am going to return to Melee. I've never actually gamed competitively with Melee, but I've gotten a lot better as a player, so I would like to dive more deeply into that. So thank you guys. Peace.